So we live together.
Yep.
We watch football together.
Yep.
We talk about football together.
Yep.
Why don't we just start a podcast?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eye test, and I can officially call it the eye test because the channel has been changed. The name has been changed. We got a logo and everything.
Let's go.
We're official now. What, a year and a half into this? We finally got this.
We've invested in the company. We've invested in the business. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. The thing is, though, people have been asking for the eye test, innit? For us to do this and stuff. And I think it just makes most sense. You just got your plaque as well.
Yes.
It's not here. You ain't got it with you,
it's
but
in my room right now.
you just got your plaque. So that's your official channel set and ready. So it's time to get a plaque for this one, right?
Yeah, man.
So let's go, man. I'm
100%.
excited for it.
I think there's only really one place we can start with this, bro. AFCON. What a month. What a month, bro.
You gotta love the AFCON month.
I loved it. No,
You gotta love
honestly,
the
and this
AFCON.
was the best AFCON month I've ever experienced. Even though my team didn't win it, if I'm looking at it objectively, this was the best tournament AFCON has ever put on, in my opinion. Honestly, this from the way it was organized by Morocco to the quality of the games, the quality of the teams, the quality of the players, everything for me, it felt like at its best. Like when we talk about AFCON being a major tournament and getting the respect it deserved, up until yesterday, I'll say, this felt like that. Honestly, it felt like a coming of age moment for this tournament.
It's just a shame for me that, you know what, it's crazy because, well, it's not a shame because I don't really care, but at the same time, it's like, it would have been nice for like Ghana to be in the competition. You know how you're saying it's the best competition?
Yeah.
I would have liked Ghana to be there just a little bit.
I can hear that. Yeah.
But I'm sure it's not a big deal, but just a little bit. Because I remember some of the old tournaments when Ghana's in there. You know, they have good players as well. It's just always, they just underwhelm. But that's the only thing for me. But overall, bro, I agree, man. You got to see players actually play on good pitches, take touches, take time. We're seeing teams this tournament much better in possession, not as much long ball, not as much scrappy games. So I do think that the facilities and the not too hot as well, that's important. You know, bro, it gets hot in these other AFCONs. It looked like everything was okay. A lot of games were even raining, you know what I mean? So I feel like it was cool. You can make that extra yard of a run. You can, you know, that's what I think it was. We saw bangers with my man scoring overhead kicks twice. El Kabi. We're seeing madness, you know what I mean? So overall, I think it was a really good tournament. We had little bit of political stuff with the Congo guy doing this and putting the world on notice, you know. We had shamelessness, the Algeria player that mocked that guy, and you know what I mean. We're going to talk about Morocco, what Morocco were doing, and we had a little bit of everything, you know what I mean. And we had some real standout performers, and that's what I want to actually talk to you about as well. I don't know if you want to start with the Morocco Senegal game, but
start where you want.
Like, who were those standout? Would you get, like, let's say you had 4 standout players. Mount Rushmore.
I just came off a different podcast. They said, who was your power rankings, your top 5?
So there we go. So you're warm.
My top 5 was Amad Diallo.
Okay.
I thought, by the way, this is his first ever tournament for Ivory Coast. He made his debut in 2021. It's the first time he plays at a tournament for Ivory Coast. I thought he was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought Iwobi was amazing. I honestly thought this was a real coming of age tournament for him, even though he's been in the Nigeria setup for a while. Bro, some of those performances, especially against Algeria, for example, I thought he ran the whole game from midfield. Another guy from you guys, Bassi. To be fair, Nigeria had a lot of really good players, but Bassi really impressed me. I think, again, coming of age tournament where you can look at Bassi and say, wow, like you were one of the best. You were probably the best center back at that tournament.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I agree. I think so.
There was Sadio Mane, of course, legend for me. He's gone down now in the top echelon of African legends. I think you can chat to anybody now of his legacy. And then, despite the way it ended, Brahim, I think it's a horrible way for it to end. And for some people, it might even tarnish his tournament. Like they might not even want to give him credit. But this guy was a top scorer, and I think there were numerous games where he actually got Morocco through. Because Morocco went all the way to the final, but I actually think there were some games where it wasn't the greatest football, and they just needed a moment of inspiration. He was oftentimes that guy. So I'm going to put him in my top 5 as well, too.
I mean, I wouldn't argue too much with that top 5, but for me, Papa Gueye, man.
Yeah, so good.
Bro, I know Sadio Mane is getting a lot of praise, but I think Papa Gueye was their best player this tournament.
Fairs.
I thought he was fantastic. And you know what? Again, AFCON is a competition where a lot of players, you see them, you've never followed their career. Like I had to go. I think he's at Villarreal?
No,
I googled him. He's at Villarreal. I've never seen him at club level. Bro, he looks fantastic to me,
that goal
bro.
he grabbed yesterday as well.
Bro, he's got a proper strike on him, right? He's got legs. He's technically good. You know what I mean? He's tall. He's gangly. I'm impressed with this guy. And I tweeted about him earlier in the tournament. Just said Papa Gay is impressive. And then he went and scored a brace that game. I'm like, I'm really, really impressed with him. And like, maybe again, they always say don't buy a player after an international tournament. But to be fair to Villarreal, they're third in La Liga with a game in hand. They're having a good season. So let me not even say he needs to move. But man, I think that might be one to watch. I'm super impressed by that guy, man.
Yeah. You know who else was really, really good? And when you talk about like, they lost, but he deserved to win, in my opinion, was Yassine Bounou.
I was going to say that for my goalkeeper. I thought Bono was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant this tournament.
Even in the semi-final, in the penalty shootout against you guys, that save at the end.
Yeah.
In this final as well, too, bro. That save that he had on in day from PSG. Bro, some of the saves this guy pulls out, like, unbelievable goalkeeper, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I would say those are the players that really, really stood out for me. Guys, let us know as well who you guys thought really stood out. But when I was looking at it, I would probably say that 6 or 7.
Yeah, Osimhen as well too.
Osimhen was good. Lookman was actually good as well.
Lookman for me, I left him out because the quarters and semis for me against Algeria, I didn't think he was that great, and then against Morocco as well too. But in the group stages, oh my goodness, he was probably the player of the group stages.
Yeah, that's true. Is there anyone else that we're probably missing from another nation?
There's a few, to be fair. Like you said,
there was one guy that played for Egypt. I think he was like a centre half.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? He was active.
Yeah, a few really good performances.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, that's what made this AFCON so special. There were so many like really top class performances from like players that probably will get a move off the back of this as well too. I honestly just thought from everything, like this was such a high quality tournament. Like for me, the quality of play in some of these games was unreal. And this is why it makes, for me, the refereeing so disappointing, because everything was at such a high standard in this tournament. Everything was like, you couldn't find a complaint for anything. Honestly, it was all so brilliant. And it gets let down by the fact that although everything has elevated so much over the years in AFCON, the refereeing standard still stays at the same lousy level.
You know what it is, though? It's like, I don't know. You don't want to be able, because the thing is, European football refereeing ain't great either. It's not great either.
No, definitely not.
So it's like you don't want to kind of stay in the AFCON with it, but it's just because the AFCON have notoriously never had high officiating levels. Never. You get where I'm coming from, and of course, it's AFCON, so we're getting African referees and stuff, but it makes you. Again, I don't want to say I'm bad man, but I don't know where these guys are refereeing. Are these guys refereeing in Europe? Are these guys getting the best training? Are they getting the best? Because one thing I think about the African referees, they're very good at like, you don't really see much players surrounding them.
You say that yesterday.
Well, yesterday was chaos, right?
Yeah,
because
they peer pressured him at the corner.
Yesterday, I don't know. I think that was corruption, right? But you don't really get moments because they're quite disciplined. They're quite go away. They're very good at that type of stuff. But in terms of some decisions that you look at, it's just a bit, it just brings too much controversy into this tournament. So that's why I'm super disappointed. It's not like to say, oh, well, referees in Europe are bad as well. But it's like we always have bad referees. You know what I mean? There's been World Cups where, okay, there's always going to be refereeing decisions, or Euros, or that you're just like, okay, whatever. You're not really walking away talking about refs. I feel like AFCONs, there's too many AFCONs that were like talking about the referees. So I don't know if they need to go under.
Or even when people make these stupid like memes about AFCON's chaos, all this, which is so overplayed, right? I'm happy we didn't really hear that much. Most of the time, when you think of the incidents that come to mind, it's refereeing mistakes, bro. So the most notorious one is last tournament where the referee blew his whistle 10 minutes early.
Bro, even in the Nigeria game against Morocco, the referee blew the whistle 20 seconds before the end of the match. It said, let's say, for example, it said 95 added on. He blew at 94:40. And I was like, anyway, whatever.
The thing is, there's bad calls, right? Like you said, they happen in Europe all the time. The Premier League, I feel like we have a VAR complaint every single week. So this isn't like a strictly African issue. But I do feel like the incidents that happen in African football and at these AFCONs is like magnified. Like it's ballistic decisions. Like yesterday, for example, you mentioned the word corruption, and we've gone back and forth between us talking about, do we think it's bad refereeing or do we think it's a bit more sinister than that? But those two decisions by the referee are for me criminal. And we'll talk about the VAR one is one thing, but even the goal that Senegal had disallowed. How, as a referee, are you blowing the whistle early? Again, like this is basic shit.
It's basic stuff. And even regardless, like, what was he originally blowing for, though?
He was blowing for a foul.
Between those two players.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous,
but
right?
even if you think it's a foul, let the play out, and then you can go and check
then
VAR.
You go VAR.
You're instructed not to blow.
Exactly. Yeah. And the reason why I don't really care about the fact that he blew... Well, no, that's a howler for him doing that. But the reason why, and some people are saying, well, he blew the whistle and everyone was competing. no one like was like, oh. You know when you
it's not like they stopped playing
and everyone stopped playing and
bro.
the keeper didn't dive. Then that's a whole different conversation. But that is not what happened. What happened is, okay, he might have blown early, whatever. That's a howler from him. But regardless, you scored. Everyone played. I still think that should go to VAR. Everyone played on. It was not a foul. It's a disgraceful decision. And for me, it felt very much like, oh, this wasn't meant to happen. This is against the script.
Against the script. Yeah,
like 92 minutes. Nah, whoa, it was meant to go to extra. This is against the script. No matter what happens, we're gonna. Why would you blow that early when they're throwing the ball into, when they're crossing the ball into the ball? For me, it just felt like they can't concede at this point, and then they did actually concede. Honestly, bro, like, I don't often say corruption. I promise you, I don't often. When stuff happen at AFCON, I don't say them words. Some people throw it around.
It's a big accusation to throw.
Quick.
That's why. Yeah.
But I genuinely think yesterday there was some corruption, bro. I genuinely.
The thing is, like, me and you have gone back and forth about this all tournament, and you've kind of thought, I'm not gonna lie, it seems a little fishy. And to be fair, right, this isn't a new thing. Like, all throughout the tournament, there's been days before the game where the referees get changed. There's been so many games where South Africa accused Egypt of basically like cheating when that penalty happened. Algeria were going after Nigeria after the game. And I thought that was ridiculous, even though they had a claim for a penalty. And like every game throughout this tournament, there have been refereeing issues, right? And a large part of it has been directed at Morocco getting a large favoritism. I sat in the boat with like, I think it's just bad refereeing all across. Yesterday was the first time I actually looked at it with those two decisions and thought to myself, ooh, that feels almost, that feels like it went against the script. It felt like it was against the script here. That was the one time I felt all tournament like that's shaky because that Brahim Diaz thing, the referee doesn't even look at it, right? The only reason I think, like, people will say, oh, he got hurt from his voice. I think he got pressured by Brahim and the coaching staff of Morocco. They all I've never seen that. They all swarmed him like that. In I'm sorry, any normal game, the referee is telling them all get the hell out of here. Seriously, leave me alone. I'll make a decision. I got my assistant referee. I think he got pressured into making that decision. And it's a horrible decision, bro. I don't care what anybody tells me. He had his arm around him. That's a play that happens 500 times across a game. If that's a penalty, I'm sorry, you're going to have 50 penalties a game.
I honestly, I get Senegal's frustration. I said in my video, reacting to it, I wouldn't have walked off the pitch. I wouldn't have done that. Right? I agree with what Mane was trying to do.
Real man.
Because do you know what the reality is, right, with the whole situation is, don't get me wrong, I would have let these guys know that this is a
You see the Senegalese fans.
I would have done a Didier Drogba. This is a disgrace.
You see the Senegalese fans, though.
What were they doing? Oh, they were ready to smoke people,
Bro, they were walking out. They were running out of the stands, trying to get on the pitch. The police were basically telling them, yo, get back in the damn stands.
See, that's the thing. So I would have definitely shown my frustration.
Of course.
I would have done something that you don't normally do. I 100% would have. If I was in the Senegal, she was like, I would have went to the cameras and said, it's a fucking cheating is going on, corruption. I'd have done something like that. Walk off the pitch, and I wouldn't have. Because at that exact moment, I would know the football world was with us. Now, I know
it's true.
In 20 years, it ain't going to say...
They don't reward...
it's not going to say Morocco won, but Senegal won our hearts. It's not going to say that, so I get it. But regardless, I would have left knowing this is just a joke. I can't even be too mad at it.
I think that's what Sadio Mane was thinking.
And I think Mane just said, listen, if they score,
we'll play like men. We'll lose like men.
We'll do it.
And by the way, the coach is probably ecstatic that they didn't end up completely walking off the pitch.
He was
because they would have boycotted. It would have been 3-0, and we would never be talking about the same game. So low-key, he's probably ecstatic that I bet we'll walk on that pitch. He was probably after the game thinking, yo, thank God. Thank God I listened to Mane.
But you know what it is, like, fair enough to Mane, man. He stood there like a leader. He stood there like the legend he is, and it was a very iconic kind of thing,
symbolism right
symbol.
But let's talk about the penalty, bro. I can't wrap my mind around it.
I don't think Brahim should play for the rest of the season, bro. I don't think he should play.
Do you remember Asamoah Gyan recently was talking to Rio, and he was talking about his penalty miss against Uruguay, right?
Uruguay,
And he said, I don't know if you watched the video, but he said, if I hadn't scored the penalty in the shootout, because remember it went to penalties, he scored. He took the first penalty, he scored. He said, if I had missed in that shootout too, I would have retired from the game. Like he said, that saved my career. Bro, he was in such a low place, and I can only imagine Brahim probably didn't sleep a wink last night, and probably will have many sleepless nights for the rest of his career, bro.
Bro, I mean, that is
unforgivable.
That is just unheard of. It's mind blowing. And like you're talking about Asma John Terry still says he still sometimes wakes up in the midnight and thinks about 2008. Still thinks about it. So I don't know, Brahim, the first time your country can win a trophy in 50 years on home soil. To do that, you are like, you're crazy, first of all, 100%. Like, even Zidane doing it in the World Cup final, you're crazy. But
he's crazy.
it works.
Yeah.
But you're crazy.
It's a ballsy
man.
thing. Yeah.
You're crazy.
Panenka's,
but
bro,
for
you can never really win, bro. Because even if you score it, people are like, oh, that's cold. But it's not like you don't get more points for Panenka and get right.
You don't. Yeah, I'm saying. And the thing is, for me, it's like, okay, Zidane done that, but Zidane did it in what, 12 minutes into the game, 16 minutes. You could have rectified that.
I don't think Zidane's doing that in the 98th minute of a World Cup final, bro.
After 17 minutes pause, a stop. You have 70. Zidane didn't have 17 minutes. Zidane probably just thought, Buffon, he maybe knows me a little bit. I'm going to do something, whatever. But him, you had 17 minutes to think about, and you really said, in them madness, I'm going to Panenka this ball. I just think I think, and I don't want to start accusing people and stuff, but I think God did not reward this guy because he had sinister thoughts, bro. He had sinister thoughts. He wanted to humiliate Senegal, bro. I'm convinced of it. He wanted to humiliate the Senegalese players. After all of that, he wanted to kind of just dink. That was going to be the last kick of the game. That was the last kick. Yeah. I'm going to dink it. We're going to run off and we're going to laugh at these guys. And God looked at that and said, nah. God don't like evil, bro. God don't like evil. And then, boom, he didn't score that penalty, bro. Like, I just can't believe he did that. I can't believe he did that. Like... he might have to stop playing. For me,
season, it's a moment of pure selfishness, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
The rest of the team is just slapping.
Yeah, 100%. For me, it's selfishness. Like in that moment, and I never like to attack character, but I honestly think in this instance it's a bit warranted, bro. You have not even just your teammates, not even just your coach. You have an entire nation on your back with one kick. You are the difference between your team. Well, obviously losing, but he didn't know that. But success and failure is within your grasp. It's not in anyone else's control. It's in you, Brahim Diaz's grasp. One kick decides your legacy, the country's legacy, everything. First AFCON at home, 50 years of hurt. And that's what you decide to go for. And bro, if he had skied it, if he had missed it, no problem. Yeah. But you decided to go for personal glory. The edits after, it's going to be the coldest moment. Yeah. He thought he was in a TikTok clip, bro. Yeah. Forget about all of that. Yeah. There's bigger things than you at play here. And just put your foot through it and hammer it home.
And the thing, a lot of people are going to say, Panenka scored, so if he scored, you guys would be saying he's cold. But the thing is, it's not about that for me. The thing is, in a moment like that, you want to maximize your probability of scoring, right?
Bro, yes.
If you tried to go in the corner, what if Mendy had weak wrists and it still went in? He could save it and push it in. If you even blasted it, remember Frank Lampard against Neuer in the Champions League final, went down the middle. Neuer stayed, it went above his head. If you did, even if the keeper saved it, he could push it into net. A Panenka, it's not the case. Bro, if the keeper stays there, thank you very much. You catch the ball. So your probability of it is reduced. If you smashed it at Mendy and he did this and it went in, you don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who knows? Even a rebound. I don't know if the referee communicated this is the final kick of the game, but even a rebound, boom, bam, goal. Yeah. For you to just Panenka a man to catch it.
You know what it is, right? There was that whole conversation on Cherki recently doing the Rabona, and Pep was basically saying, I like simplicity. And people were debating, well, simplicity versus audacity. Like, don't we love the sport for that? And I get that. But I'm sorry, if Ryan Cherki was in the Champions League final in the 89th minute with Erling Haaland wide open in the box and he decided to Rabona and it messed it up, I would rightfully get onto him. Yeah. In the 80th minute of a game you're already winning, whatever. Yeah. There's time and place. So Panenkas are part of the game. Yeah. Like, people have done Panenkas throughout history. In fact, it's crazy. Like, of all the Panenkas we're talking about, do you remember Hakimi Panenka against Spain to win it? Yeah. That was, in hindsight, a very foolish decision because you could have very easily lost. Morocco don't get past the round and people are like, wow, you put... Bro, in that moment, forget about all the glory. Forget about this is gonna look cool. Just put your foot through the ball. Honestly, it's a simple game sometimes.
And the thing is that he didn't even look confident with it. When you're looking at his face, he looked like he was gonna cry before he took the penalty. You know what I mean? And for him to go off there and start crying, I can't lie. If I was a player, I would never forgive him. But listen, I don't want anything to happen to him. I know football can get mental health and can get serious. So I'm not actually saying he should retire and all that type of stuff. But honestly, it will take me a long time if I was a Moroccan player to forgive this guy. Do you see the manager was getting onto him?
What do you say?
When he was getting subbed, like he was crying, and one of the players was trying to console him. You could see him like shouting at him, like getting onto him, like and proper getting onto him. He didn't have no sympathy.
I don't think it was for
him.
the penalty though. He's probably saying like, "Yo, get yourself together."
Maybe. Okay,
I don't think
maybe, but he looked animated though. He looked animated. No, but that's when he was subbing him.
Yeah, so he's probably, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
If he was getting onto his player after, bro, the game's still going on. This guy's...
His job's he's gone now, huh? He got sacked, I think, today.
I have no idea.
I think he got sacked. Yeah, I think it might.
You know what it is, bro? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's talk about the end of the game first, right?
Yeah.
Because it goes to extra time. I'm not going to lie. Once it went to extra time, it felt like Senegal.
Yeah.
Like when something like that happens, the momentum shifts so much from an emotional point of view.
Yeah.
The stadium silences. Senegal all of a sudden have a jetpack on their backs. By the way, the fact that there was no reaction from the Senegal players after Brahim missed is so weird to me.
Only one player was shouting at him. Was like one player when he got caught,
but no one put their arms in the air. No one fell to their knees.
I think
if I was there, my Malik Diouf, for example, my heart would be in my chest, bro.
I know they probably
not my chest, my throat. Yeah.
But one of the players, I can't remember who it was, but when he scored, he like jumped up and down and kind of did a Martin Keown to Van Nistelrooy kind of situation. Like he was in his ear, like while he was walking, he was like celebrating in his face. I was like,
but it was weird how like no one really reacted.
I think they were fed up at that point, and I think. Even the Moroccan players, only one player I saw do this. The rest of them, I think everyone's like, you're just it's just like, you're a fucking idiot. It's just like, no, get this guy Cowan off the pitch. Like, I think everyone just felt that, like, universally, bro, honestly.
The fact as well, too, though, like, how much of the Senegal threatening to boycott and walking off the pitch, how much of that, though, also was, let's build up some time. So that when he does take this penalty,
100%.
he's at 14 minutes.
100%.
I always think that the amount of time you have to take before, like that's so massive. Like for example, take it to SDS recently when Alfie Matthews took his penalty recently, and obviously there's other things that go into that. But like the amount of time he had with the ball in his hand before taking it, I always think as a taker, you never want that amount of time. You don't want to overthink it, right? You want a few like maybe few seconds to think, okay, this is the direction I'm going to go in, and then take it.
Yeah.
The more time you have, the more you just start doubting yourself. Am I going to go left? Should I dink it? You want to just go off instinct. So how much of Senegal as well, too, threatening to walk off the pitch was like, let's get in this guy's head.
Definitely, because it's a stadium with high technology, bro, right? And access. They would have all went in the changing room and been watching the screen, bro. What's going on? What's going on? They didn't all just sit there and start putting their clothes on. Nobody was in their tracksuit, bro. They all sat there and were probably just like, fuck it, we're not going out until justice is served. But they would have been watching the screen and listening to commentary of like, what's going on? This Sadio Mane is there. This. They would have seen all of that. So definitely there would have been some that are just like, well, we're going to take as long as we need. You know what I mean? If they're going to take this pen, cool. I'm take as long as we want. They'll take it on our time. It was definitely a thing like that. And yeah, that was it for Brahim, man. That was it.
Bro, the thing is, the first 90 minutes were actually a really good game, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, they were such a good game.
Yeah,
honestly. We were talking about it, right? The best two teams. Ooh, does that mean it's going to be like a cagey game? It's not going to... I actually think it looked like the two best teams playing. Both of them were going at each other. There was no real caginess.
Yeah.
They both could have won it in regular time. Even in extra time. Real chances. I mean... And Daya gets past Bruno, and then Bruno has that last-minute tip, and then Morocco hit the bar. So it was really back and forth.
Yeah.
But then Papa gave with that screamer. Hakimi, though, has got to put him in the stands, though, man, in that situation. You can't give him that much space to shoot.
Definitely not. But I'm happy that was him that got the winner. As I said, like, he deserves it. He was having a fantastic tournament. That goal as well, proper strike. Do you see, even as the game went on, he had another strike. Yeah. Proper, had another, like, bullet strike.
Save. Yeah.
He's got a proper strike on it. Honestly, like, it happens. You play with a legend, so you kind of get pushed to the side. Everyone's talking about Mane, where he ranks, and goatness and all that type of stuff. But I'm sure in that changing room, a lot of them players will be looking at him like, bro, you stood up this tournament, man. Like,
I thought Jackson had a really good tournament as well, too,
you think
by
so,
the way.
yeah?
Especially in the final. Yeah. I think he did a real dog's work in terms of just holding up the ball, getting Senegal up the pitch. I think he himself, he didn't score a lot of goals, which is often the thing with Nico Jackson, but I think his play was really good this tournament.
Yeah. Man. I mean, look, walking into the tournament, we would have said Senegal the favourites. Right?
Well, you would have said Senegal and Morocco. Right?
Yeah. Home nation. I think that's the final that you would have said on paper. It happened. And Senegal, look, I've got them as one of potential dark horse for a World Cup. You know what I mean? Not to win it,
they're in
can
the
they
same
be
group
one team as France
and Norway,
Canada,
Norway, and potentially Iraq.
So it's like, can they do something? Now, dark horse doesn't mean they're gonna go win it, but can they do a Morocco of the other year? Can Can they just shock the world a little bit? Do you know what I mean?
Their depth is crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro,
that's really what it comes down to.
Good team, bro.
Right, even the substitutes that are coming on.
Yeah,
that kid from PSG is a problem, man.
It was him Mbaye.
He's a real good player, man. Honestly, they got talent, bro. Seriously. Like,
you know he's half Moroccan. Half Moroccan, half Senegalese.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy, right? That's madness, bro.
But I mean, when you can bring him on, when you can bring on Ismaila Sarr on, like that, that's real quality and depth, proper. Man. I mean, there were some games where Sarr from Spurs isn't even starting. There's some like, wow, Diarra's not starting. It's a crazy team.
Yeah, very good team. Deserve it, man.
And they got a good mix right now at the moment, because a big question mark for me with Senegal going to this tournament was, could they really find that blend between their experienced guys of Gay, Mane, Koulibaly, while also like getting the young guys in? Because that's a problem Algeria have. That's a problem a lot of national teams, I think, end up having. How do you successfully
phase out these guys?
But in due time, right? But I also give credit to the old guy, because I thought Mane was washed before this tournament.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he really took his game up back to
Koulibaly too.
Yeah, bro.
Koulibaly, we're talking about
seriously,
flipping out.
Both of them, this tournament really rolled back the years, man.
Yeah, no, listen, I think Senegal, 6 out of 7 games they won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They deserved it, man. They deserved it. They deserved to win the competition. So congratulations to them. It's a shame that we're gonna be everyone's gonna be speaking about the ending. But when the what did they say, the dust settles?
Yeah.
When the dust settles, Senegal the AFCON champions. Senegal were the best team in the tournament, and it's deserved, and now it's just further cemented Mane's legacy, and you know where people have him in conversations and stuff like that. So
you know what it is.
Everyone's having these debates today. It's interesting to see how much different answers that people are giving. So
it's interesting too, because people are talking about Mane a lot, but I think you have to look at the Senegal team a lot too, bro. This is they've been to 3 of the last 4 finals. They've won 2 of the last 4. They were in the final against Algeria, and honestly, we won it in 2019. That final, we got battered. We scored a fluke goal in the first 5 minutes and then defended for our lives. So you got to look at the Senegal team too as well, in terms of where do they rank in terms of the greatest AFCON sides, because we always talk about that Egypt side.
Egypt,
of course, they did crazy three-peat, of course. Bro, what Senegal have done in the last 4 tournaments.
Back to back.
Yeah, of course. And I'm sure there's teams in the Ghana team of like the 80s, but bro, this is for me one of the best African teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. To be fair. Yeah. No, I agree. I think Ivory Coast got to 3 finals in at one point as well.
Was it 4 finals?
They lost to Egypt in one final,
4,
and they lost to
Egypt
Zambia.
was 06. Zambia was 12, and I think the next one was 13. The next
2008. They lost in 2008 final.
8 or 06?
No, 06 they got to the final.
Yeah, I think 08 was Cameroon that Egypt beat. Because Egypt beat Cameroon, Ghana, and
They
Ivory
lost to
Coast.
Egypt on penalties.
Yeah.
They lost to Egypt on penalties in the semis. Yeah.
That team was great as well too, but you have to think like they for me they underachieved for the quality they had. The fact Drogba never won AFCON is crazy.
Yeah,
especially that Zambia team. But this Senegal team, bro, like they are incredible, man. Yeah. Incredible. How did they lose last AFCON in the Ivory Coast one? I can't even remember.
I can't remember.
It must have been quarterfinals or something like that. But yeah, special team. And then Mane, like you were saying, like I think I was telling you last night. I think this puts him.
Yeah.
He can chat to anybody, man.
Yeah.
I don't see why he can't be in the same breath as the Eto'os and the Weahs and these guys, man.
Nah, he's got to be in them. He's got to be in the same like conversations. I think Eto'o's the GOAT.
Yeah.
African still. I think he's still the GOAT. But everyone else after that, listen, I didn't get to watch all of George Weah. Even though me and you have seen a few things, and he's a Ballon d'Or winner. So for me, if you Ballon d'Or and you're African, hey, until I start seeing multiple African Ballon d'Ors, I'm sorry.
That's
you
crazy.
Got to sit in the top 5. I don't give a damn. Where I'm seeing a lot of top 5s, they ain't got him. I get it. Not a lot of people have watched him, so I get it. But I'm sorry. African Ballon d'Or, you're sitting there until I see like 3 Ballon d'Or Africans, then I can start saying, oh, it's a common thing. Until then, you're sitting there, bro. Come on, man. It's like, imagine Son winning the fucking Ballon d'Or, and then somebody saying that
it's true.
Asia, come on.
The fact that an African was named the best player in the world is incredible.
Yeah, I'm saying. So he's got to be there. So George Weah, you got Eto'o, you know, obviously there's Drogba's, Mane, Salah's, Mahrez, you know, Ahmed Hassan.
Ahmed Diallo.
Ahmed Hassan. I mean, bro, I saw this guy 3-peated. He won 4 AFCONs, 3-peated, and 2 of the tournaments he was best player. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, but I guess that's more
even
AFCON
going back
legacy
to Abidou Pelés, the Roger Millas.
There we go. You know what I mean?
But I honestly think Mane can sit in a room with any of them. Though,
yeah,
bro, honestly.
I agree.
You look at the resume, bro. He put Senegal on the footballing map. To win your nation's only 2 AFCONs is ridiculous.
Where do you have him? Top 3?
Because
Because you know
agree
what? I
with you.
saw a lot of people talking down on like Drogba, not talking down, but saying, "Oh, Drogba didn't win AFCON and stuff." But I do think like we're talking about African greats and stuff, right? You got to factor in loads of things. Like, you got to remember, like Drogba spearheaded Ivory Coast to their first ever World Cup. You know, these are things that matter too. You know,
I
what
hear
I'm trying
that,
to say?
but one spearheaded them to their first ever World Cup. Mane spearheaded them to their first ever trophy.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying
Like,
these are things that you've got to
I just
like
think with Drogba, I'm
factor
a
in.
huge Drogba fan, bro. I will always ride the flag for Drogba. I think so at one point it became ridiculous how people were disrespecting him.
Yaya Toure, I forgot to say him as well.
Yeah.
Yaya Toure.
I mean, he for me is up there, right? But when I look at Drogba, as much as I love him, I'm sorry, right? Like, there isn't really anything he's done that Mane hasn't now. His record in the Premier League is there. I think Mane scored more goals than him.
Yeah.
His big game record is ridiculous. His big moments are ridiculous. His trophy cabinet is on a similar level to Drogba. Drogba has more leagues, of course, but then you take it to the international scene. The fact Mane got over the hump and won two, not even just one, two with Senegal. With Senegal, I know it's a golden generation, but Drogba had a golden generation as well too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like if anyone tells me Mane is a greater African than Drogba, a greater African footballer,
Where do you even, because I feel like a lot of people are using Drogba as the like, oh, he's above Drogba. Okay, but where do people have him? I feel like a lot of people have turned, oh, he's above Drogba and Salah. Okay, but where? Do you get where I'm coming from? I feel like that's everyone's takeaway. Oh, I've got him above Salah. I've got him above Drogba.
Yeah.
But then do you have him above Yaya Toure? Do you have him above... You know what I mean? This is where.
All I know.
But do you have Yaya over? Do you have Yaya over Salah and Toure?
I think
and
I think I have Yaya over Drogba. I'm not gonna lie. I think I might.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I might. It's all really tight between these guys, right? I wouldn't say. I think it's a very tight top five.
Yeah.
But I just think Mane now. I agree with you. Eto'o is for me number one in my eyes.
Eto's resume is too much, and
the quality as well too.
Bro, Eto'o won an Olympics for Cameroon.
Yeah.
I wonder if Cameroon have ever won another gold since then in anything, in any sport.
I'm not sure.
In any sport, he won an Olympics with the Cameroon.
He won what's it called Confederations Cup final against Brazil as well too. Like his
I didn't even know that.
AFCONs, Champions League.
He's won African Player of the Year 4 times. He's an all-time scorer of the AFCON. Yeah. He's won 2 goals in the Champions League finals. Won 3 Champions Leagues. Is it 3 Champions Leagues? Yeah, 3 Champions Leagues.
2 trebles.
2 back-to-back trebles. I mean, I think
for
his
me,
resume
Eto'o is goated for me. I think he's the number one.
Yeah.
But I think anything after that, I honestly think Mane can chat to anybody. And everyone has their own thing that they can kind of go back on. Like Salah's records are just untouchable. He's the record man in Africa, right? But then Mane has the 2 AFCONs and a lot of wins on Salah's heads. And people can talk about squad quality, but bro, when someone is really getting you out of there every single time. Like that goes in your favor as well too. So Mane's got that. Yaya's just got a peak that I haven't seen from many players, and he won AFCON as the captain of Ivory Coast, their first one. I wouldn't put Mahrez in that conversation, unfortunately, bro. Mahrez is aging too badly for me, man. As sad as much as he has in his favor, like the.
What do you mean he's aging badly though?
Bro,
Because
Mahrez
he's terrible for Algeria now.
Even the last 3 or 4 years of his career, for me, even at the end with Man City, he became too much of like another guy at that team. And I know a lot of players are like that, but let's be real, bro. Salah was never just another guy at Liverpool. Eto'o was never just another guy. For me, Mahrez, it's sad because honestly, I think at one point you looked at Leicester, which is just the craziest accomplishment ever. The AFCON in 2019.
But to win that with the Algeria team, bro, like if you're talking about underdogs, he's got real underdog stories, bro. Winning with Algeria,
I don't know if I would say Algeria
Leicester.
in 2019 was an underdog story. I mean, we weren't like the favorite, but I wouldn't look at it at that level. Anyways, that's not to take anything away. Mahrez is my GOAT, but I just think the last few years for me, it's tough.
Okay, obviously Mane won the AFCON. But last few years, he didn't really have a great time at Bayern. He went to Saudi. So would you say that affects him in any way?
But that's what I'm saying. This moment right here is that's what cements his legacy, bro. Mahrez, bro, let's be real. He had a golden generation for Algeria, and he didn't take us to 2 World Cups in a row. We crashed out of 2 AFCONs in a row in the group stage with him. He's been the captain. And this kills me to say it because I love Mahrez, bro. But the last 4 years for me have not been kind to him, honestly.
I couldn't say Mahrez is up there because, well, Mahrez up there. But like when I'm seeing a lot of people say, well, you can't be a GOAT if you haven't won AFCON and stuff, which is perfectly fine.
I don't agree with that, by the way.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, the ones who are the GOATs have won the AFCON, like, other than Drogba and Salah, I guess. But
for me, that's like the whole
GOATs,
Messi argument with Argentina. Like, can you not be a South American GOAT without a Copa America or without a World Cup? For me, that was always a little ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think you have to look past. It can't just, like, that definitely elevates you for sure. But we can't just look at that as the blueprint, and anyone who doesn't have that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Ronaldo before a Euro, like
I agree. It's like when people are saying Mahrez about Salah, and I'm like, now this is why it's going too far for me, because it's like, bro, they played in the same league for like 7 years, and
Salah
I
was
don't
the
think
better player.
Mahrez outperformed him once in 7 years of
Yeah.
them playing in the same league. So how can I just turn around and be like, oh, he won with
Yeah,
Algeria?
I think
though,
the have you won AFCON or not?
yeah.
I think there's exceptions to be made when someone like Salah is doing what he's done throughout his career.
Yeah, 100%. It's hard. I've got Eto'o definitely number one.
Yeah, I
got
agree.
George Weah somewhere in number 5. I get it. I didn't watch him, but he has to be there for me. And then Drogba, Yaya, Mane, Salah.
I think you have to be honest.
is
Like
tough.
this is like I think to be fair, bro. I think
And
we
then
should.
Africa has
I
so
think-
many cult
I
heroes
think we
as
should
well.
do it based on what we've seen, because I just think the likes of Abedi Pele,
Yeah,
like those
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
It's so for me, Weah.
Roger Miller. and that.
I think honestly, as football fans, we need to like get to a point too where we just like say best of their era, because
Yeah,
then we're
yeah,
just
agree.
discounting too many guys. So if we say the best of our era and leave out George Weah out of respect, I think it's Eto'o, and then in any order, Salah, Yaya, Drogba, Mane.
Yeah.
I think I might go over that,
Yeah, I would say that as well. It's
even though Ahmed Hassan.
yeah, and it's tough with the. Yeah, it's hard. That's a hard mix. That is a
That's
hard.
difficult.
It could go anywhere. You know what I mean? Because. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know.
You probably have to have
don't
someone
know.
from that Egypt 3P winning team, bro. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
it
lie.
has to be
Because, bro,
Abutrika or Hassan.
The fact that they got Ivory Coast's golden generation out of
Yeah.
there, Cameroon with Eto'o, which were
Beat
like
us as well,
Yeah, King
I
Von, and then they beat Asamoah Gyan, SCN's
Yeah.
Ghana.
Yeah.
That's a crazy.
The thing is, if
three,
we're
bro.
bro, hold on.
That's like you're beating the Sims.
If we're talking about African legends, then the list that we just said is confirmed. If you're talking about AFCON
totally
GOAT,
different. Of course, it's totally
it's
different.
Ahmad Hassan.
Yeah.
Ahmad Hassan is the AFCON GOAT, bro. Yo, that's like he is the AFCON
and
GOAT.
like
Yeah, it'll be him
Abutrika,
or Eto'o aside. Bro, he's the GOAT. Like, what the hell?
Of course
He's
not.
a fool.
But that's why you're like you
like-
that's why you blend the two of them, right? You
Yeah.
take like the best of everything.
Yeah, he's like, but his record, like, I saw he won in like 98, 2004, 6, 8 or something. Like, I'm like, wait a second.
But then if you go like that, the Euro goal is Michel Platini. Like,
Yeah, yeah, he is. He is, though, he
To be
is.
fair, is he he has the GOAT campaign? Is he the GOAT Euro player?
Bro,
It's probably Xavi or like Iniesta. To be fair, they got 2 Euros back to back.
maybe, yeah, you can say that. You can
but
say
the GOAT campaign.
yeah, the
is
GOAT
Platini,
of the competition. You've got, it's like Ronaldo's the GOAT of the Champions League.
Yeah.
So Ahmad Hassan, you're the GOAT of the AFCON,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like, he's got to be surely like captain of them as well.
Yeah, Abutrika,
and then
him and,
people like Abutrika and
Sam Hussein, the guy who coached Egypt.
yes,
Yeah.
like you gotta respect them 100%. And then like you think about like bro, like when you think about like the Champions League, like obviously we say Ronaldo's good, but like you think about like Maldini won in the 80s or something and won in like the 2000s. That's Ahmad Hassan, bro. He's been in the he probably won as a teenager, or won as a senior man, bro. Yeah, so he's got to have that. But we're talking about African legend. Unfortunately, he played in Egyptian league. I think the only time he played in Europe was in Turkey or something, like one season or something like that. So
that's why you gotta like mix the two of them, right?
yeah. So it's tough for him. But overall, I think the players that we said, I just think it's too hard to put a list. Other than Eto'o one, I struggle with the rest. I struggle with the rest.
I think that's fair.
Like, do I have Yaya over Drogba? Like, but I understand if Mane is over Drogba, but then I don't know if I have Mane over Yaya. It's very weird. It's
but
so
for me,
weird.
it's very close. I wouldn't say like. I just think Mane now has. All I'm saying, whether you could tell me Drogba is better than Mane, I'd say okay. But I just think Mane now has put forward a case.
He's
that,
top 5.
I'm sorry, maybe bar Eto'o, and maybe someone even argue Eto'o, but I would say bar Eto'o. He can talk to anybody now. Bro.
But he's one of 3 players to win multiple Player of the Years, African Player of the Years, and multiple AFCONs.
Bro, let's call it what it is.
Roger
too.
Miller,
I know it's a
and Eto'o.
popularity contest these days. For me, the Ballon d'Or, I don't even consider it anymore. But if you do, he's on the podium, bro.
on the
He
podium.
finished second on a Ballon d'Or.
Is that the highest finish since Where? Or did Eto'o
Second,
finish
I would
second?
say, Eto'o finished third. I think that one
Eto'o
season.
finished second. It was a World Player of the Year as well. It wasn't even a
But I
Ballon
think
d'Or.
even Ballon d'Or that year, I think he finished third.
Did he?
It went
It
with
was the
Gerrard
World
and
Player of the
Lampard,
Year,
actually,
yeah, World Player
But
of the
yeah, if you value that as much as some people do it, he was a Benzema season away from a potential Ballon d'Or. So
yeah, I think that one though. You see with that one, that Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I really think they had a universal agreement to prop the AFCON that year because
I didn't think Mane was better than Salah that season.
Yeah, and because they gave Messi that Copa America Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they
Well,
knew
they had to Euros and
they had to gas up every nation's like individual continent's award. I'm telling you, they gave Messi that Ballon d'Or for Copa
I
America.
would love to know
had
in like
prop it.
2008, 2010, were Egyptian players, if any, were nominated for the Ballon d'Or. I'd love to know that.
It's a good point. I mean, we can check, right? You
Yeah,
can
go
carry
2000
on. I'll check.
2006, 2008, 2010.
Let's say
because
Ahmed Hassan. He won player of the tournament, so let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Has Ahmed Hassan ever been nominated for Ballon d'Or?
Has Ahmed
Or Abu Trika?
Ahmed,
Go ask
yeah,
has Abu Trika ever been
ever
nominated?
been nominated?
To be fair, Cam, Mahrez in 2019, before Messi had that campaign, finished in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or purely because of the AFCON that year. Because he didn't have he was on the bench most of the time for City in his debut campaign.
Yeah, nah, never.
Never for
Ahmed Hassan, never.
Abu
Let's
Trika,
see
maybe?
with Abu Trika.
To be fair as well, too, those days it's 20 names, it's not 30. But even still, we're talking top 10.
No,
No, wow.
no, Abu Trika never either.
Because I remember Mahrez finished like 6th in 2019.
Abu Trika never played in Europe.
Never.
Yo, them
I think there
Egyptian
was
man are quite loyal, right?
I think there was a reason for Abu Trika though. Like Abu Trika has a very interesting story, bro.
Really?
If you go into Abu Trika's,
I might have to look into it.
if I'm not mistaken, in fact, I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm pretty sure there was a huge political issue with him as well too, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Abu Trika is a very interesting. He's an interesting cat, man. But he's a player, bro.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, nah, he's never done it. But yeah, he's another one, another baller. Yeah, these guys, man.
But you see, this is why, like, when we talk about Egypt's team these days, and people will say, like, oh, who did they have? None of them play in Europe. Bro, you look at that Egypt team in the 2000s, 2010s. They're all banging, like, doing work in their league, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta respect that,
100%.
though.
I think the only one was, you remember that Zidane guy?
Mohamed Zidane. Yeah.
Like, that's the only
Yeah.
one. The rest of them are dominating for Zamalek and Al
Ali and that. Yeah. Fair enough. Even the players now, it's only 3 of them were in the
Marmoush,
Europe.
yeah,
Marmoush,
Salah,
Salah. I can't remember the other one.
Yeah.
There was one other one, but
Yeah. It's
but,
crazy, bro.
Yeah, that is
Favorite
crazy.
moment of AFCON this year?
Ooh. Favorite moment of AFCON without
Surely it was you beating us,
beating
bro.
your ass was great. You know what I mean? That was definitely
I
mine.
was gonna say mine was Bobina, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
was definitely my highlight. Definitely beating Algeria. That was great. But that's obviously biased.
No, I'm
point
glad
of
we
view,
gave
you
you
know what I
a
mean?
highlight, bro. Because I mean, you're not gonna have anything else for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see you in the World Cup.
You know, from now to it's just low lights for you, right? You know, you're gonna go to a World
So
Cup
what
and
about
get
you?
your
What do you
ass
have?
spanked.
What do you have?
Bro, we can at least sit
This
back
is
and
when
just
you
watch.
change your green passport
Yeah.
to your red one and you go to
Yeah.
England.
Yeah, exactly.
Your,
Now I'm
your
back to
year
England.
is over. I
Listen.
still got hope.
I'm back with England,
I still
mate.
got hope, man.
I'm English
I got
now.
something to look forward to.
I'm English.
You worry for AFCON 2027. How about that?
I'm English, mate.
How about that?
English, not Nige. English, not Nige.
Is this your king?
English,
Is
not
this your
Nige,
king?
bruh. Listen, we move, man. We do it for Britain. We do it for Britain. But yeah, I don't know. I think I mean, obviously you're Babina, mine's beating you guys. But obviously, from a biased standpoint, I'm trying to think of any other moments that might have gone down as one of my favorite moments.
The Mane goal against.
Oh
Egypt.
yeah, bro, that's actually good. I love when a big dog just does it on a big stage. It's just that gives you dopamine, bro. Like that gives you like this is football, bro. This is sport.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's the
bro,
thing
like,
with
I
Mane.
want to see. You want to see MJ take the shot.
Yeah.
You want to see a big play from Bron. You want to see.
Yeah.
This is what you want to
And
see.
that's
man.
what makes Mane for me such a special player too, bro. Is he's always there.
Yeah,
like,
he has a clutch gene.
Oxlade-Chamberlain was even saying it, bro. In games for Liverpool, when we're in trouble, we used to throw the ball to his chest and just ask him to do something, bro.
Yeah.
Because he's got that ability to just carry a team on his back and say, in one moment, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
That goal that he scores against Egypt is all him, bro.
What
It's
a
not a
goal as
well
well.
worked. It's just brilliance.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that we haven't spoken about at all as well. And a lot of time, you know, when you start talking about resumes and stuff, you kind of get lost in. It can just be a Wikipedia thing in the end.
Yeah.
But as a player,
He's a
Mane's
fantastic player, bro.
top player. He's still one as a
Fantastic
player. He's one of
player.
the best players Africa has had.
Yeah,
So
man.
that goes in his favor as well, man. So yeah, you know, it's funny because when you talk about these players that do well for Africa, he never ended up winning, unfortunately for him. But Asamoah Gyan for his country was.
What is he? The top African scorer in World Cup history as well, too.
I believe so.
Took
Yeah,
them to the AFCON final.
Yeah,
Of course.
bro.
He's
As
just
in-
he's just an
Scholes
almost
for-
man, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got like a 1-in-2 ratio for Ghana.
Yeah.
He was. You're talking about individual performers for their country. He's up there.
He used to be a
brilliant.
gunman for Ghana,
bro.
honestly. Yeah. He scored
Proper.
big goals for them.
Big
honestly,
goals.
he's like the Balak of Africa, bro. Honestly,
Yeah.
that penalty, the final against Egypt, like just nearly.
It was crazy that Drogba, like penalties was the bane of his life at Ivory Coast. You know, when they lost to Egypt on penalties, he missed in the shootout. Zambia, 15 minutes to go, he missed. There's penalties, and then they lost on penalty. Obviously, they lost on penalties to Egypt. So penalties and
we're talking
the bane of his life.
The Mr. Clutch.
And then he
we're
goes
talking
and scores
Mr. Finals, Mr. Clutch, except for Ivory Coast.
Madness, innit?
That's mental.
And then he goes and scores a penalty, the biggest penalty of his, I guess you could say, of his life in the Champions League final.
Just a few months later.
Just to finish that, yeah, it's pretty insane, to be fair, but yeah.
AFCON 2026, man, what a tournament!
Yeah,
the
opponent is one next year.
Yeah, I think it's in the summer. This next one, it's going to be in the summer of 2027.
Chill, man.
No, but after that, they're going to every 4 years, which some are arguing is too infrequent.
It's too. Well, they want more.
Because AFCON is usually every 2 years, right? Or every year and a half.
Every 2 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because the next one is going to be in a year and a half.
Yeah.
But a lot of people. Oh, is it in a year? No, yeah, it's in a year and a half. That's always how AFCON's been though. Every 2 years, every year and a half, or whatever. But I think from 2028, it's going to be every 4 years.
The thing is, the problem. The thing is, if you want it to, I don't know how I feel about it, but in terms of it, it's like if you want it to get the respect that all these other competitions have, because all the other competitions, especially when they were trying to get Messi to win a Copa America.
That's what they're doing with Salah right now.
Yeah. Especially when they were fighting to try and get this guy a Copa America. I feel like every 4 years, everyone else does every 4 years. So it's like, why does Africa have to be different? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I guess every 4 years, and in that way, flip it out. Hopefully we can get some halftime commentary. Hopefully they can actually build it up. They can actually take stock in it and make it a big thing.
Yeah.
So let's see how it does for the next one. But bro, I don't want to lie. Next AFCON, like if it's in 4 years or whatever, bro, they need me and you on commentary, bro, in some capacity, because some of the stuff that I'm seeing, I'm sorry. Some of the stuff that I'm seeing, I'm like, nah. They need to get some people behind this, man. Honestly, they need to. Like, shout out to who was doing the commentary this whole tournament.
The commentary was
Amagotchi and
what's my man's name?
What's the other guy's
Efinakoku.
name?
Yesterday, last night I think it was
main
Efinakoku.
commentator.
I don't know the main
commentator.
I just know Efinakoku. I think was on commentary last night.
They did well. I like them. I like their dynamic actually. It's quite funny. But in terms of like the halftime stuff, and then they only started getting them from the quarters, I believe it was. So it's like a little bit, you know. So yeah, hopefully.
I think it's getting there though, man. Honestly,
yeah, honestly,
this for me again. If we can look past the final and how it ended, this was a real for me step in the right direction for AFCON. I honestly think they nailed everything this tournament in terms of how it was viewed by the rest of the world. It's just a shame the way it ended in a bit of a smear, but this was a real top tournament, man. I don't think anyone. The fact that you didn't hear any talk about chaos and memes AFCON is so like, wow, we love AFCON for this. I love that, bro. The focus was on the football, and the football delivered. So shout out AFCON 2026, man. Let us know in the comment section down below what you enjoyed. Did Senegal deserve it?
So wait, we did. So who's the player of the tournament?
I think it is Brahim, even though how can you give it to Brahim when he missed the penalty, man? It's tough. I think he was the best player, but it's like Baggio in '94. Like
yeah, it's true. Me, I'm gonna go with Papa Gay, and in second would have been Calvin Bassey for me.
Yeah, Bassey was incredible.
I think second would have been Bassey for me. Good, so, but I'm gonna give it to Papa Gay because I just learned about him and stuff. Maybe that's a bit influencing it, but I just thought he was just a standout quality every time I watched him. So I'm gonna give it to him, and he scored the win in the final. So yeah.
Let us know, man. Who was the player of the tournament? Did Senegal deserve it? What were your favorite moments of the tournament? Let us know all down below. Like, share, and subscribe to the eye test. It's no longer Lyes Bouzidi. It's just the eye test. Like, share, subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Go follow Cam on his socials. Go follow mine on mine. And we will see you guys very, very soon.
Peace.